Judd's first words when starting any podcast: let's get through this shit.
Yeah, let's just fucking get this shit done. I'm honestly only here for the paycheck, to be honest. So
and that's very small. The paycheck is literally zero.
Just nothing.
It actually genuinely doesn't exist. What's ironic about that is we have earned some money from this podcast, right? But we can't access it. We're not allowed to have it. So, yeah. It's
whatever. Just a number that goes up on the screen, and then we go, whoa, look at that.
Do you want to know how much we've earned from this podcast that we're not allowed to access because we're not in the US? Anchor, it's a very good way to do your podcast now.
Not give us our fucking money. That's
the sponsor for this podcast will probably be Anchor as well. How do I find this out? I'm sure I can figure this out. Where is it? I don't know. I can't find it. Anyway, in today's podcast, I think it's about £4. It's like nothing. In today's podcast, let me get my notes up. I was ready, but then I got ADHD'd away to looking at money statistics. So we did something weird last weekend that we'll tell you about. It was a very odd experience, but it was quite funny. Yeah. I forgot what we did. I was like, what the fuck? I did a long walk, very long walk, and nice. We have another debate and shit. But first, if you've been listening to this podcast, you know that I've got a really annoying dog that barks all the time. Dogs, not a fan of them. Fucking don't like them. No, dogs don't do well on this podcast.
I'm a fan of my dog because my dog's quite well behaved.
You have two dogs, one of which is all right behaved. The other one's a cunt. The other one's a little fucker.
She's only actually she's a cunt to few people. She has some people where she just will not stop fucking barking at, and then she has some where she'll just like pick me up and I'll just cuddle in your arms and be quiet. And it's weird, and I don't know what chooses it, but she does not like you. She just barks like fucking mad at you,
and I don't know why. I don't know what her problem
I don't know.
is.
I don't know. Maybe she listens to the podcast. So
You're my least favorite member. That's what she's saying. It's just talking all the time.
I love this 3-hour podcast about Warhammer. I love it. That's what she says.
Well, speaking of people you live with, Judd, great news. Your nan, your grandma, has added me on Facebook.
Whoa.
Fantastic news, everyone. What a momentous occasion. I can't believe it. I saw it on my phone. It was late at night as well. I feel like she might have been hitting me up for a bit of a booty call, I'm not going to lie. But so it was like 10:30. I was like... I literally gasped and went, ooh!
You went, ooh!
Of course, I slapped on confirm, and that'll be the end of it. I mean, I doubt that we will interact at all. But I don't know, that was fun. But yeah, I've got a dog. It sucks. It barks all the time. Don't like it. It's too giddy. It's not a breed that we can effectively look after in a suburban household. We shouldn't have ever got it. It wasn't my decision. But I have recently bought some things for the dog, and I'm not happy about having to do that in the first place, by the way. I shouldn't have to. It was like £42. I didn't want to spend £42 on this dog. I don't even like the dog. Yeah. I've literally said to everyone on multiple occasions, if it were up to me, I'd have taken it back to the kennel by now. It's like, honestly, it's not. I don't know. It's not for me. But the two things I got for it are like it's one of these kind of dog puzzles. So you put a treat in it, and it has to like figure out some like little puzzle, and then to get the treat. And this is to kind of mentally stimulate your dog, because if it gets bored a lot, it's more likely to bark, it's more likely to misbehave, things like that. And we've got a breed that's like very intelligent and very kind of like active. So it's really important. So I got one of those so that any time that she gets a treat, that should kind of, I don't know, at least help and kind of stimulate. We could do with maybe one or two others of these treat things, but that's that. Now, the other thing I got. This is what I'm most stoked about. Let's just have a brief moment of silence right now. Let's see what we can hear if I shut up. Hear anything? Hear any of that?
I can't hear anything.
I know why you can't, because it's not barking anymore. We've done it, everyone. We've solved it. Played the wrong thing. This one. Yes!
Did it actually then? Because usually I just can't hear it because you have a good noise gate on your microphone, but
no.
It's done then. It's mission successful.
Kind of. In I think. I mean, so what I got is like a barking deterrent collar. It wasn't that much, and if it was up to me, it would have been a shock collar. I'm going to be honest, a lot of people find that cruel, but I don't give a shit, is what I'm going to say. I think used in the right way, in a non-mean way, shock collars can be fine. I think it's literally the hype of a shock collar that people get, because if you've ever had a shock collar on, like a dog shock collar, then you know it doesn't really hurt. It just makes you jump, which is kind of the whole point of this one that I've got for the dog anyway. So, I don't know, you have to make sure the setting for the dog collar is appropriate. Because a lot of the people who, like, test a dog collar out on themselves to make sure it's appropriate for the dog, they've bought one for, like, a fucking Great Dane, and they want to put it on a Chihuahua. And of course it's going to send a right shock through you, because it's a massive fucking animal. So, like, that's why. So, but you need to get ones that's an appropriate shock for your animal. Like, a tiny little shock. You know, like... those like, oh, do you want a stick of gum, mister? And they pull a stick of gum and, ouch, that's shocked my finger. You know, those kind of deals.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We're talking that level for most dogs. So it's normally the people's fault with shock collars. But you basically can't buy those anymore. So I took a chance on this beeping vibration collar. So what it does is it detects if the dog's barked, and you have to set like the right sensitivity levels. I had to like experiment with it a bit and make sure I'd got the right level. But basically, every time the dog barks now, it goes beep, 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 beep in its ear. Like, not loud, but like it's on its neck so it can hear. And then it goes...
I like to imagine, actually, it detects its it's barking, and a little sort of microphone comes out of the collar, and it aims directly right into the dog's ear, and it goes, "Shut up!"
No, but that's basically what was happening before I got this collar. But it's... it's working all right, you know. The dog's attempted to bark quite a few times today. But what happens is she barks once and then it goes beep, 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 and she's like, oh, fuck, and then like runs around like silently, and then it buzzes and she's like, ah, what's going on? So it shuts her up, you know. So the barking's been reduced significantly already. A couple of people have said she might get used to it, and I do realise that, but I don't think so. If she continues to bark as it's beeping and vibrating, it gets more aggressive. So there is that element of it, but I don't know. She should learn to not bark before she gets used to it. Is kind of my theory, and at least help him for a while. And there's another version you can get that kind of sprays something on their face, and they don't like getting sprayed, and also it's like a smell they don't like. So there's another version that if she does get used to this, we can get that one as well. So that's great success. Is all I mean. Yeah. Have you know what my dog's like with the barking, and I almost said to you when I got this collar, will you just like come over so we can test it?
I see. Thing is though, I'd be like, oh, he's got a shock collar for her, and I'd show up expecting to get shocked, and you'd be like, oh, it just vibrates a bit on you. I'd be like, that's no fucking fun.
Yeah.
I was like,
it was disappointing. I did want to violently shock the animal. That was what I was looking forward to.
You wanted to send so much electricity through it, it like fried her brain, and she had a seizure on the floor. You specifically told me in confidence. That's
turn it into a vegetable. Then she won't fucking bark. Am I right?
Yeah. She'll not bark anymore.
That's all a joke, of course. Anyway, that seems to be working. I'm pretty happy with it. So there. But we're gonna get straight cooking on one of these boys.
Freak of the week.
This segment is Freak of the Week. It's where Judd tells us about a strange individual that he's bumped into recently, and we get to enjoy the idea of their presence. Have you got a Freak of the Week, Judd?
I think I might be freakless. I honestly think
God.
I think I might be freakless this week. You'd think I went to a tournament for Warhammer 40k.
That's why I shoved this segment in. Because I'm thinking,
Yeah, you'd think that there'd be one from that, but they're all right. They were all fine. There were none that were. There was one who is a bit autistic, like quite a bit autistic, but he didn't duo. He was fine. So I gotta let you down this week, to be honest, and say I'm freakless.
That sucks.
I got no freaks.
In place of Freak of the Week, then, I suppose I'll give you a brief philosophy update on the meaning of life. I know that's everyone's favourite thing that I've been doing lately.
Yeah.
So I've got two to tell you about. Last time I told you about Aristotle. All my homies hate Aristotle. Fuck Aristotle. His philosophies on the meaning of life. Pff, bad philosopher. Don't like him. It's better than Plato, at least. Man, fuck Plato, am I right? That's like saying Hitler's better than Stalin, at least, or I don't even know if he is. I don't fucking know. But I know.
If you look at like the statistics of like who suffered under whose reign, you could actually make a point that Hitler was better than Stalin. So,
and if you wanted,
I would know because I was Hitler. That was him.
Basically. But the philosophers, or the kind of philosophy that I've been kind of learning about since last time is I've forgotten. Oh no, I remember.
I can't remember. I learned the meaning of life, and then I forgot. That's great.
No, it is the Book of Job, which is from the Bible, but it's not necessarily Christian because it's more Old Testament. It's a bit more Jewish than Christian.
Oh,
no, I knew it. I knew you were going to make that stupid joke. It's not. It's just boring now. It's not even funny.
You know. I've got a lot of actual Jewish. I'm not even kidding. I have a lot of like Jewish heritage in my family. Like from my nan's family. I'm not joking. Like from my nan's family. I've
Can you say one of them funny sounding Jewish words? That's probably not allowed to say, but they do sound quite funky, and I like them.
Oy vey. Or
that sucks. That's the one everyone knows. Give me one I've probably not heard of.
You've also the other one that everybody has heard of is Mazel Tov.
No, I'm looking for like a Geschmeckelchen or something like they got weird words like that.
Now see now that is bad. That is bad.
Look, right. If someone comes to me and say, "Oh, cup of tea, my lady. Oh, God save the Queen." If someone comes up to me like that, I'll be like, "Yeah." Am I right?
Yeah.
I couldn't be further from that. I've literally drink tea specifically once every 3 years, and I've never even said "God save the Queen" until just now. Don't fact check that. Anyway,
I've got one.
Oh, go on, fine. Tell us your Jewish word, and then I'll tell you about their meaning of life.
Hashim.
Now, which devil did you just summon right there? Because
no, actually, that means with God's help.
Cool.
With God's with God's help.
I'm about to tell you how God will not fucking help you, and that he's a dickhead, according to this story. Let me tell you the story of the Book of Job, Judd, because I know you've not read the Bible. Basically,
I have to read the Bible.
Yeah, that big old Bible one. No, shut up. Let me tell you the Book of Job. If you read the Bible, you would burst into flames. Book of Job. Okay, so listen here. The Book of Job, right? It's about this lad called Job. Didn't see that coming, did you? Big surprise. I know it's a big shock, but it's about Job. So he is like a wealthy dude. He's got a lot of shit going for him. Got a lot of like camels and sheep and stuff. And you know.
Those are good.
That's
those
how you measure wealth back in those days.
Even today, even today, camels and sheep are good. Yeah. You have a lot of camels and sheep. Still fucking.
He's got a hot wife. It looks a.
Those are timeless.
Hot wife probably looks a bit like Margot Robbie. We're gonna go with that. Why not? He's done a big old spunkiner. Got quite a few kids.
Yeah,
everyone likes that in those days. Not nowadays. Don't have kids now, but back then have kids. Everything is going great for him. And not only that, he's a sound fella. Okay, he's always praising God. He's going above and beyond to do his like godly duties and all of that shit. Okay.
Yes.
So at this time, the devil has not been put into like hell and become like in charge of hell and become
he's still an angel.
adversary.
He's still an angel at this point, yeah.
But he's a little bit of like a cheeky angel, and everyone knows that. He's for want of a better term, the devil's advocate towards God. He essentially like presents like sneaky, naughty ideas to God, and God kind of puts him in his place. That's kind of the whole relationship they've got. So, the God and the devil are doing their podcast, right? And the devil says to the God, "Look, God, this is my freak of the week. Job is my freak of the week."
Job. And, God's like, Job's a fucking lad. What are you talking about?
Yeah. And then the devil's like, "Look, right, he's only a lad because he's got so much like shit going for him. You've given him all this money,
I know
this
this
stuff.
verse, yeah.
So basically, one thing leads to another. God's like, all right, devil, take all this shit away from him. He'll still be good." Devil does all that. Job's still good, but he's like, "Oh, fucking, this sucks, God, like, I mean, I'm still on your team, but like, what are you doing?" I don't know. That's what Job's like. Then, and then God's like, "Look at that, you big bastard. See?" And then Devil's like, okay, yeah, I know, that's fine. It's a bit of a given. Everyone would like give up everything they got to save their life, but like, you got to make him think he's going to die. Then he'll start being a cunt. This is like big old like Joker kind of esque thinking. And then so God's like, right, you can don't kill him, but make him think he's going to die. Affect his health, all that stuff. Devil does that, and then Job after that point is like, fucking God, what's going on? Like, I've done everything right. Just come on, what's happening here? What's going on? It's like me trying to ring up, like it's like if you buy an Apple product and you try and call Apple support, you're like, "Look, Apple, I did everything right. I didn't open too many tabs in Chrome, like 2 at most. No water damage. I only went on like a few porn sites." And then Apple's like...
And the good ones as well, and the good ones.
Yeah, the reliable ones, like X-Hamster, Pornhub.
Yeah.
And then Apple's like...
What?
My name... Apple's like, "My name Jeff," and hangs up on you. What do you think of that meme, Jed? Was that a good one? Anyway,
nice.
that's what we got with going on with God and Job here. So Job's mates are all like, "Look, right, you must have done something wrong, and you're just not telling us, or like you don't know or something, because like, why else would this be happening?"
Yeah.
A bunch of bullshit chat happens, and basically God, rather than trying to like show some sign like he normally does, or like teach some sort of message, he literally just goes, "Shut up, oi, you four." I think there's 5 of them. You fight. Just shut the fuck up. I'm going to tell you what's going on here. He basically says, "You're so, like, insignificant that you can't comprehend and don't deserve to know the meaning of life compared to my grand... I'm just too good for you," basically, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
And, see, if you're going to be realistic about it, you've got to replace God with a more hierarchy, kind of knowing universe. Like, kind of a more holistic view of the universe as in total that obviously has more knowledge than an individual human because it's everything in the universe. So if you want to be a bit more scientific and logical about it, you've got to replace it with that. But we'll just stick with God for now because it don't matter. So, but my problem is with that is if we're so fucking insignificant, right? Then how can our meaning be so great that we can't understand it? And if it is, then maybe you should give a shit about us a bit more. You just don't...
Yeah.
I don't know about that. It kind of like, you can't say you're shitty and insignificant, and also, but your meaning's too good for me to... it don't work. Either we can... It maybe could work, but you'd need to explain that idea a lot more than God just goes, "Stop questioning me." It's kind of, it don't work great at explaining kind of anything towards the meaning of life, but it works well at making idiots try and obey God. So that's the best I can do with that. If you want to believe in God, that's your own prerogative, and I'm not calling you an idiot specifically. I just think for that exact reason, it's a bit stupid, innit? Plus, one of the arguments that one of these mates presents to Job is that like you're assuming that God thinks of you as a maggot and that you're not worthy of some higher meaning or justice or something, and that's blasphemy. And then like the kind of all saying, oh no, that can't be, and then like God later comes along and goes, you're nothing. So like, what the fuck? You know, it don't work. He can't be an all loving, all knowing God because he literally appears and goes, fuck you. So like, he just does. I don't know. It's better than Aristotle. Put it that way. But so far. I've got another one to tell you about in a second, but so far, I'm siding with the Indians at this point. The Indian philosophy that I told you is the best.
The Indians, listen, I don't give the Indians a lot of credit, but they usually got shit locked down on this stuff. They usually got it with any sort of spiritual stuff. Or tea.
Or or curries, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
or shitting in public. They've got that nailed down.
That one was the one that was too far. We were right on the edge of not being offensive there, and then you went with shitting in public, and then that one took it a bit too far.
That's not racist if they actually do it, though.
Judd, look, you shit in public more than they probably.
When I do it, it's funny.
Anyway, look. You know that whole meme of like a new challenger approaches for the it's not South Park. What's the game called? Smash Bros. You know, the new challenger approaches thing. We've got one of those. It's a surprise new challenger, right? In this meaning of life philosophy whole thing. Romans didn't see it coming, did you?
Okay,
Roman philosophers. Okay, the Stoics. Now that's ringing a bell a little bit more, isn't it? Stoicism.
Yeah.
It's quite popular nowadays. It's pretty decent. It's my new favourite. Now, what's let me just Google famous Stoics. Famous Stoics. Because I'm sure the names will come up. Who were the Stoic philosophers? Come on. Who is it? Marcus Aurelius. He's the next one that I need to get into. He's the biggest, most famous one. But Seneca is the first one that I've learnt about. Now, Seneca presents this idea that's halfway between Aristotle and Indian philosophy. So Indian philosophy is all about Aristotle and kind of Greek philosophy is like, we're emotional, reckless beings. We give in stimulus and have emotions around them, and we need to kind of understand the best emotions and things like that. Bollocks, I'm too autistic for that. Indians, too autistic for me. Discipline yourself. Never give in to the emotions. They're always bad. That's kind of their idea. Now, Stoicism's meant to be a bit of a harmony between the two. But Seneca, he's creeping towards Aristotle for being a bit of a fucking idiot. Because what he says is that, like, humans are rational in nature. We rationalize things. That's what we do. That's our whole point. We're rational. So, whenever you get overly emotional, you're going against your nature. It's not natural for you, and it's a bad thing. Now, a good emotion to look at that he uses as the example is anger, because it's so obvious, it's so forward-facing, you shout and you do things with anger. Anger's a really easy emotion to look at. And he kind of says that it's never useful. It's always bad to be angry. There's no point being angry ever. If someone kills your kid, don't bother being angry. Just be cold and calculated and get your revenge. That kind of serves a point, but it doesn't work, because we wouldn't have survived so much if we didn't have emotions. Emotions are there for a reason. They do serve purpose in some, albeit, so far as I can tell, quite niche scenarios, but they're there for a reason. You have to use your logic in tandem with emotions to get what you want, because if we didn't have emotions at all, how would we ever give a shit about anything? Like, I enjoy this beer. I like it. It tastes nice. It makes me feel good. So if I didn't have those emotions, what's the point in drinking it? Like, why am I doing anything? You know? It's like, I feel hungry and that's making me feel bad. But emotions don't matter, so I'm not going to eat. You know, it don't matter. You have to have, emotions have to be intertwined with your logic. So that's where he has a bit of a, his kind of dealio falls flat. Plus, humans aren't fundamentally rational. We do completely irrational things all the fucking time. All the time. So it's not natural for humans to be rational. I don't even need to explain that further. I'm pretty sure everyone will agree with that. So along comes, hopefully, the next... Yeah, this guy, Epictetus. He's got epic in his name. How? Come on.
Oh, wait, Jake, is it spelled Titus?
No, Tetus.
Oh,
it's
I
not
thought
Epictetus. It's not tits.
No, I thought it was Titus. I thought Epictetus was such a fucking sick name.
Epictetus, I think.
Titus, okay, fair enough then.
So Epictetus is like, all right, Seneca, you got some decent ideas, but just let me sit down a minute. Let me sort this out a bit better. Which is kind of ironic because Seneca was kind of like a big old lord fella, and Epictetus was a bit more pauper slavey dude, but he still schooled Seneca. Fuck you, Seneca. We're on team Epictetus, am I right? Yeah? This podcast is officially sponsored by Epictetus.
I'm going to be on the side of anybody who's got epic in the name.
Yeah, exactly. I might change my name to Epic. Just that. That might be good. But what Epictetus says is like, basically what I've just said. It's like, look, just because humans are very good at rationalizing, and just because it's very good for us to do that, doesn't mean we're fundamentally like that. And it doesn't mean that it's natural. It doesn't mean that that's all we should ever do. The example he uses are feet. Now, all you foot fetish people, you're going to love this. So, they didn't have shoes back then. I think we would probably apply this to shoes now, but I'm going to go with feet. So he says that, like, listen, Seneca, you pig bastard. You can clean your foot, okay? And it can get very clean. So it's done a good job at being clean. And not only that, it's very beneficial for your foot to be clean, to stop infections, smell, things like that. It's a good thing for your feet to be clean. But that doesn't mean that's exactly what your feet are for. It doesn't mean that you should never use your feet for walking. What they're exactly meant to be for. So that's the same thing with emotions and anger. It's the same thing with rationalization. Just because we can rationalize and avoid anger doesn't mean we should always do that. Yes, it's good to do that. And yes, we should bear it in mind and use it to our advantage. But we shouldn't always do it. It's not fundamentally black and white right every time. What is right is that things change. All the scenarios based on whether you should take your emotions into account or whether you should rationalize it always changes. There's always constant change. The only thing we can learn from this is a big tenet of Stoicism, in that everything is finite, especially life. And it's why you shouldn't be so afraid or so upset about the idea of death, because really, no one actually dies. You don't really ever die. Matter can't be created or destroyed. Everything only changes. And we don't know what's good or what's bad because we don't know the ultimate meaning and ultimate goal of everything. So if someone dies and gets turned into worm food, that could be brilliant. That could be the best thing of all time. We don't know that. And we can never know what's good or what's bad. So you can't say that something so seemingly fundamentally bad is bad. So you kind of, rather than being sad about it, just be neutral. Don't be happy. It's not happy about it, but it's just whatever, So that's kind of what he says it in more pretty words than that. But yeah, so that's kind of where we've got with Stoicism, and I think Epictetus is my favourite so far. Next week's lecture will be on Marcus Aurelius, where I'll tell you some even more badass shit. So there you go. That's that. Let me tell you something else then. This is a big old me just telling you shit podcast. I do realise that. I did give you an opportunity to tell me about some freaks, but
I didn't have one. I'm freakless. I'm upset more than you that I'm freakless, to be honest. I love a good freak.
Yeah. We do love a good freak.
I'm going out on Friday. It's Sam's birthday, so we're going to be going out for Friday. So I might have a freak for you then.
Nah, that'll be good. Yeah. We'll get some good content out of that next week then. So tune in again next week and fucking can continue listening this week. I mean, there's more cool shit to come. This is going to be a bit confusing to people who don't live in Yorkshire, okay? So we live in a town called Barnsley. Okay, it's a pretty big town. Yeah. If you come to Barnsley, you'll not bump into us. Barnsley is kind of bigger than most cities in terms of like land area, but like it's like really spread out. It's like it's not like that built up in a lot of areas. So anyway, Meadow Hall, that's a shopping centre. Okay, it's 11 miles away from Barnsley, give or take. And I walked there.
Oh, yeah. You said you were going to do this. You told me you were going to do this.
It's a weird, interesting thing because growing up, like it's quite common for people in South Yorkshire to go to Meadowhall. Everyone who's been in South Yorkshire has gone to Meadowhall at some point, and it's like a 20-minute drive from, give or take, from where we live. So it feels like a place that, like, you have to drive there or you have to get a train. And when you're growing up, when you're about 14, you might start getting the train with your mates. If you had any, I didn't. But, you know, you might do that and go to Meadowhall and get a bit of, like, you get a KFC, and you might buy, like, one thing, but it's mostly about, like, fucking round in Meadowhall. It's the local shopping centre. Which isn't that, but it's not that close, and the whole thing is it kind of feels like a trip to go to as you're growing up. So the idea, I always thought, imagine, like, I always thought, I ain't got money for trains, I ain't got a car or anything. It's like, what if I walked to Meadowhall? Can you imagine that? It felt like it should be like a multiple day journey, and you'd have to camp, and you know, it feels really far away. Did you ever think about that?
You think that it could essentially be like a Hobbit-esque trilogy, the journey from Barnsley to Meadowhall?
Did you ever, like, think about that? Guess I don't know if I was just, like, a bit of a weird kid thinking about that, but I feel like other kids would consider that.
No, I mean, I sometimes think, like, you know, what if I just walked to somewhere that was, like, fucking far away? And a lot of the times, it's when I've had a few drinks on a night out, when I'm just like, what if I just walk it? Like, especially like if I have to wait for like a taxi or you know, the buses aren't running anymore because it's too late. And I did that. I did that on New Year's, actually, when I was in town, and I walked from town back home to Dad's.
Oh God!
And
that's far. So that's like,
yeah,
what, like 4 miles?
Yeah. So I walk a lot. I do it.
If we go out in the town centre where we would normally go out, it's normally about 2 miles back to my house, which I do regularly. I normally walk about that far, I think. But to put it in perspective, this was 11 miles. So the furthest you've walked is about 4, maybe 5, and it was over double that.
That's not the furthest I've walked. Like I've had further walks, but
we've both posted leaflets for a living, so it's like. Yeah. we probably walked about 11 miles a day when doing that, to be fair. But I chose to do this, and it's a bit of a weird one because a lot of people have done bigger hikes than that as well, across moors and stuff like that. I've done bigger hikes. I've done about 18 miles in a hike before, I think. And it's a long way, but for some reason, if you say I've done an 18-mile hike across the moors, people think that's far, but, like, not as far as if you say, oh, I'm going to walk to Meadowhall. It's 11 miles. You know, whenever I told someone I'm going to walk that, like, where I was walking to, like, you're going to walk to Meadowhall, as if I'd got it wrong. I was going to walk somewhere else, and I just said the wrong word. But I was like, no, that's where I'm walking to. And it was kind of because I wanted to do a big walk to a thing, like, essentially start somewhere, end up somewhere after a big long walk. But the problem is getting back. I know there's a train station there. That's why I picked it, because we got the train back. So that was the whole idea of it. But it was weird, because when you're walking across moors and things like that, it feels like you're supposed to be walking there. Whereas, like, I don't know, we were walking, I guess, hiking. Is a long walk just a hike or what? I don't really know. But I don't know how that works. Is hiking going across different terrain? I don't know. I guess some expert can tell us. Tweet at TweetsBadly if you want to tell us that, or leave it in the comments of the YouTube version of this video, which is on the Streams Badly YouTube channel, or if you want to chat live at twitch.tv/streamsbadly. There's an audio version on all good podcast streaming platforms such as Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So yeah, we were walking, and I don't know, it's weird. It felt like a Hobbit's adventure type of thing, because we had to get supplies. We had to carry, like, a lot of water with us and lunch in a backpack and stuff like that. I just literally put it on Google Maps on my phone. I didn't, like, do anything special, really. We just followed Google Maps. I made sure to have a power bank with me, just in case, like, I needed to charge up my phone as an emergency. I didn't. I started off with 90%, and I ended up with 77% by the time we got there. It weren't even close. So, I don't know. The weird thing was, if it should have been a long walk, it should have been an arduous walk, but when we got there, it was like, well, that didn't feel long. Like, it felt the same amount of effort once we were there as driving, which is really weird.
Yeah.
But you know what? It felt less effort than if we'd got the train. Like, you know when you get a train somewhere, it's a bit of a pain, isn't it? And it costs quite a bit, and you have to wait, you have to walk here, you have to wait here, you have to organise your ticket. And honestly, if I had a choice between walking 11 miles or getting a train, I might think, if I got the time, I'm just going to walk it. Because fuck me, I was so surprised at the difference in how it felt. It's just fucking weird.
Yeah.
And it was odd to walk so far on like normal streets as well. Because obviously you do hikes, big long hikes in kind of not wilderness, but on like nature paths and stuff normally. Whereas we were doing it from like a town to a city. So we were going through lots of different like residential areas and stuff like that, which I found, I don't know, a little bit odd. It was a little bit comforting in that we could just pop into a pub if we wanted. As well, if we're walking past one, we could just do that. It's weird. I kind of recommend it for a long walk rather than a naturey one to mix it up. If you like big long walks, it's quite nice because you can just go, I'm just going to go in this pub for 15 minutes. It's kind of cool. But something that it arose me to is walking boots. Right? Do you use walking boots? I don't know if you use them at work. I know you've got some boots for work.
I have you have steel-toed light cap shoes for work.
Have you got any? I'm sure you've got some walking boots somewhere, though, haven't you?
I don't think so. I don't think I've got any proper walking boots. I've got like wellies, but I don't think I have like nice walking
wellies
boots.
Suck. Well, I'll tell you what, there isn't any. There isn't any nice walking boots. They're overrated. They suck. I'm telling you, they're not very good for walking. I ended up after that 11-mile walk with 7 blisters on my feet.
God.
Like, come on, they weren't bothering me that much, but like, come on, what's the problem with walking boots? If I knew we had to walk across some kind of paths that were reasonably likely to be muddy between farmers' fields, so I knew I needed to wear them, because if I'd have just been wearing trainers, that could have been an issue. But I'd have much rather just been wearing, like, running trainers, because I wouldn't have got blisters from them. I'm telling you, walking boot technology is outdated, and this is my pledge. Someone at, like, fucking Mountain Warehouse, or, I don't know, fucking North Face or something, one of those that do walking boots or something, hit us up and do a collab with Streams Badly, okay, on a pair of walking boots, because I know exactly what the problem is. The bottom of a walking boot needs to be very solid so that stones and all sorts of shite doesn't poke up into your feet and hurt your feet. I get that. Great. You've got that bit down. Good technology for that. The main problem is the inside of the shoe is fucking solid as the outside of the shoe, so it's like you're constantly walking on like marble. Well, it sucks. It's really hard. You need a squidgy insole, kind of like Yeezys, the Yeezy Boost. The bit that you actually put your foot on needs to be nice and soft, and it needs to not slide about. It needs to cling your foot, but be soft. Fuck walking boots. Anyway. I don't know. We walked to Meadowall. It was pretty interesting. Anyway, we've got another one. How about time for this thing?
That's it.
This is why you are wrong.
Ooh, yes, we're bringing back all the segments. We've forgotten to do them, like, in recent times, so this segment is called This Is Why You Are Wrong. It's where I present a certain type of premise to Judd. He gives his opinion on that premise, and I try to convince him why he's wrong. Today's topic is it's the most annoying obsession person. So, you know, the type of people who are obsessed with something, and they, like, make it their personality, and you know, it's annoying. So you might have, like, horse girls are a good example of that. Car lads, you know.
I know you meant like girls who are into horses, but
I know
that's not.
You're picturing a BoJack Horseman type scenario.
Yeah.
So what are you going with, Judd?
I know it already. Like Disney adults, like adults who are just really into Disney.
I've not
really
thought
into
of
Disney. Now. I like Disney stuff. I do like some stuff. It's all right. Some of the music from Encanto is pretty banging. I'm not gonna lie, but there's people, they do stuff and it makes me angry. And specifically, the type of Disney people who are obsessed with fucking Baby Yoda. I can't fucking stand Baby Yoda. He makes me sick. I hate him. They'll literally have like a little Baby Yoda doll, like a little baby doll size thing of him, and they'll walk around with him in like a shopping cart in public, and they'll be like, yeah, this is my baby, this is my Grogu, or whatever he's fucking called, look at him, he's like a real baby. That's what they're actually like. People like this exist, and they make me feel sick. I hate them. I really, really hate them. There's also the other type of Disney people that I hate, which are parents who go to places like Disney World or Disneyland, and they're taking it under the guise that we're taking as kids to Disneyland, and it's not for the kids, it's for them, and it's for them because they'll get really upset with anybody who's even just trying to do the job. I saw a video on, I think it was TikTok, it got shared or something, and I got it like linked to me, and this dude, because how they have like parades going through Disney World. Like they have like floaties and like floats and stuff, like a big balloon Mickey Mouse going through. And they'll have like cast members dressed up as different characters on these floats, like dancing and stuff to kids. So because Disney World's quite a crowded area, sometimes people leave like prams and stuff about, like strollers for the babies, and some cast members will have to come and move them out the way so that people can get through with the floats and shit. And this guy had moved this pram out of the way. And this woman went absolutely fucking sick at him. She's like, "How dare you touch my stuff? How dare you go?" And it's these people exist, and they're so entitled. And to be honest, I feel like if you've got the money to go to Disney World at all, you're entitled, because that's a whole other thing. I mean, it costs way too much.
You're privileged as fuck. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I just booked a holiday to fucking Scarborough, and I feel like I've spent a lot of money.
But yeah, mostly though, mainly it is. I don't hate Baby Yoda too much. I don't really actually hate Baby Yoda. It's the people who are really fucking obsessed with Baby Yoda that just piss me off. So there you go. They're my most annoying hobby people.
Judd, I struggle to lie in any scenario.
Yeah.
And I can't lie, that's a fantastic choice. That's a really good one. But recently, fucking cunts have adapted. They've adapted.
They're adapting. These cunts are adapting.
They've found new ways to piss everyone off. Yeah. It's getting a bit crazy. And these people have definitely been usurped by the crypto bros. You know the type. It's like, okay. Oh, dude, you got to invest in this crypto. You got to do it. You be dumb not to. You got to fucking do it. It's so sick. You check out my dude. Check out my bored ape. Check out my bored ape.
None of you can see this.
It's so fucking bored. Like, I know that you've recently changed your Discord avatar to a knockoff bored ape as well. So I know you understand this.
No, me in the Discord server I'm in, somebody's been making everybody like their own bored ape to have as a profile picture. So yeah, I've currently got a bored ape as my profile picture.
They're so ridiculous that it's become a meme. As you know, like, of course, people know these guys are so fucking annoying. Ouch. I just banged my elbow on my desk. That it's become a meme. Now, with these Disney-obsessed adults that you're on about, a lot of that is contained to America. A lot of it is. You get plenty here. You do get plenty in the UK.
I'd say in college, I had three or four in college.
Yeah, and I know there is some here, but at least a lot of it is kind of kind of America based, whereas crypto is fucking gone international. Okay, you can't go anywhere without seeing some. You can't go online and watch like an online video without some scam ad going crypto.com, a debit card, a metal card. It's like, oh fuck off, you know. So it's completely, you can't avoid it. If you don't want to listen to someone who's all Disneyed up, you don't have to go to Disneyland. You know, you don't have to. Follow them on. You can at least avoid it a bit more, and it's at least contained a bit more. The other thing is, Disney adults, they're not trying to impose things on you specifically. Now, they're so loud and obnoxious that you do get some problems from it. Obviously, it causes problems for other people, but crypto bros are actively trying to get you to fuck your life up and being annoying while doing it as well. Dude, please, have you heard of it? Have you heard this? You heard you know what I invest in? You heard what I've invested in? It's bad coin. Bad coin. That's what we're doing. We're doing bad coin now. It's all about bad coin now. I've sold my bad coin. What the fuck are you talking about? How have you not keeping up with this? We sold it already. It's gone. It's gone. It's all about cum coin now. Why have you not bought any cum coin yet? What are you doing? Okay, you're too late. It's gone. It's all gone. It's not about cum coin anymore. You're all messing up. It's all about the NFTs now. It's all about the board jizz monsters. They're always bored. So you're too slow.
These creatures made of cum that are just perpetually.
Now,
bored.
how much do you want to punch that guy? How much do you want to punch him?
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could virtually punch him somehow. I don't know. So that's actively in your face, and the type of thing. My point with that is that Disney people are trying to enjoy something, and it's kind of being annoying because they're trying to enjoy it. Whereas crypto bros, they're trying to fuck you over, and it's being annoying with it. That's a step further. Plus, I don't know. Disney's at least kind of fun. Disney can be good, whereas crypto's just, I don't know. Crypto's just not cool, really, is it? So even just the general subject matter, at least a lot of Disney's good, whereas crypto's just fucking annoying, isn't it? So that's what I present to you, crypto bros, the most annoying type of obsession people.
It's kind of a hard one. I get where you're coming from with the crypto bros thing.
When you're at home, you can escape these Disney loud people. You don't have to follow it. Whereas crypto bros are in real life and on your computer. You can't avoid it.
I get where you're coming from, and that is a good one. That is definitely a good one. But I gotta be honest with you, my personal fury towards these Grogu, whatever the fuck he's called, obsessed maniacs burns too brightly for me to say that I side with you. But that is a good one, and those are annoying people.
I think that's fine, and I think I put up a valiant effort because I think I would agree. Right? After you presented that, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I think they are more annoying. But it's because that, like, I've forgotten what I was going to say. The main thing is because, like, these Disney people, it's like, Disney's great, and you're fucking ruining it for me. I don't have to like crypto in the first place. It's not like they're ruining something. It's like, oh, just shut up. It's kind of, they're a slightly worse version of, like, the Rick and Morty kind of high IQ type of people.
I'd say that the Disney people are worse than the Rick and Morty people, absolutely.
And the Rick and Morty people have faded out quite a lot now at this point, haven't they? Whereas Disney's forever, the Disney adults, they're for, God, it sucks. It really sucks. And you know what? It also, the Disney kind of adults, they intertwine with other really annoying people, like those obnoxious theatre kids. Oh, fucking shut up! Stop singing the theatre song! Stop doing it!
You can imagine how many of them I had when I was doing my fucking drama course as well.
Oh, yeah. You can imagine how many of those I had when I was in a fucking choir. Yeah, don't come at me for annoying theatre kids, honestly. I was surrounded by like 100 of them at one point. It sucks. If you ever start singing like fucking, I don't even know any theatre songs to even start doing it. If you started going, waving through a window. Immediately you started it. They're going to sing the whole rest of that whole entire soundtrack, all of them, all in somehow organised harmonies that they've all worked out with each other. I don't know how that worked out. They spend like many hours a week. Is there some sort of forum where they're all like working this shit out in private? I don't know. How does that work? I don't know. Anyway.
I remember one time when me and Tom were just coming off a break. We'd just been out for a smoke and we're coming.
That sounds like you and Tom were in a relationship and you were
we
on
were just coming off for a break. No, so Tom did like lighting and sound engineering and stuff, and he did all that side of like the theatre stuff, and I was doing acting. So occasionally we'd have classes together because we'd be going over like what we do for certain shows, and this was one of the times where we had like a class together. So we'd just been out for a smoke. And we came back, and like the hallway that was just in front of the class that we were going into, it was full of them, and they were all screaming about some stupid shit. I don't know if they were singing or they were doing whatever the fuck, but they were just making so much noise, and me and Tom immediately just stopped, and we just like looked at them for a second. I just turned to him and went, should we just fuck the rest of the day off and just go to Spoons? And it was just like, yeah.
You know what it is? It's the obnoxious showing off of it. It's like they're trying to grab any like tiny morsel of attention they can get at an inappropriate time. It's like a lot of them, these theatre kids, it's like, yeah, you're great. You're really good at singing. Fantastic. Shut the fuck up now, though. It's not the time. It's not the time or place. Shut up. You'll get your time. I know you've put your effort in. You'll get your time and your place. Shut up now, though. You know?
Yeah.
Honestly, they're so loud with it, and so, like, they're so obsessed with these things to show how loud and obsessive they can be, to grab even more attention. Like, oh, I'm the most interested in this thing, so give me more attention. It's like, I've always had an issue with people seeking kind of what I consider undeserved attention.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just, it pisses me off. Anyway, that's been a bigger rant than I thought. Anyway, we've been going 50 minutes and we're only just starting to get to kind of the main thing about this podcast. Not gonna lie.
Christ.
Thanks for sticking with us if you've done that.
I didn't want to stick around. For this long.
Jude literally said at the start, can we make this quite a quick one? Because we did a really long one last time.
I was like, I'm really tired from work today. Can we make it a quick one? But nope.
Now I've pepped you up with talk of fucking Disney adults and theatre kids. You're in a rage now.
My blood's boiling.
It's better than a Red Bull. That is. It'll keep going even more than that. But so what happened this weekend, Friday night, but we record this on Wednesday, so last Friday night, we've had a weird thing to do. We mentioned it in the last podcast, and basically, what I thought it was when I presented this idea to Judd was, Judd comes, drinks some alcohol, and I get paid. So Judd gets free alcohol, and I get some money for giving him free alcohol. That's not how this worked out. Spoilers, we were saying it was too good to be true last week, and yeah, it was.
Yeah, we kind of fucking hit the nail on the head.
I've been doing a lot of work around this lately. So what it actually was this kind of like survey thing where I was asked to submit a lot of like weird information about myself, record videos about it and stuff like that. I had to do a fucking house tour and submit it to them. I had to tell them loads of my likes, dislikes, all sorts of stuff, all sorts of things. The initial thing took me, the initial info submission took me fucking multiple hours to do. And then, on the time where I was supposed to be giving Judd this alcohol, I thought we were going to get sent some alcohol from a brand to try their alcohol. No, we had to buy it at the shop. They wanted us to try specific alcohol at the shop. So we had to go buy it. That was fine because we should be getting paid quite a bit more than what the alcohol cost. So that should be fine. But what we had to get was Captain Morgan's. Like at least a third of the people had to be drinking Captain Morgan's rum, and then you could have a couple other types of drinks as well. So we had some cider and some gin. But Captain Morgan's was the only one that was mentioned specifically. And we went to the place where we were, the people's house we were meeting at. It was my girlfriend's friend and her boyfriend. They have a house, so we all went there for some drinks and that. And they gave us this massive list of like photos and videos we had to take of really specific things. Like we had to have like 3 of us preparing drinks. We had to have 4 of us drinking some drinks. We had to take photos of any drinks and food we had, or we had to video the start and as it was progressing, and we had to video a bit of the end. There was all sorts of really specific shit to film, and take pictures of, and it was really weird, but. Because Captain Morgan's was the only brand that was mentioned specifically, we just kind of jokingly guessed that this is for like a Captain Morgan's advert. So we were taking the piss, and in all the videos we're like, and I'm going to drink some of this, the delicious taste of Captain Morgan's spiced rum.
We'd hold it, we'd make sure that like Captain Morgan's, like the label was perfectly in frame whenever we talked.
Yeah, and like there's a picture that's brilliant of my girlfriend eating like a nacho with some salsa on, because we brought that for some snacks. And they wanted us to take pictures of all the food we ate. So there's a picture of her about to bite one of those because we had to do the food. But we made sure that Judd was holding the bottle of Captain Morgan's in the background of it, and specifically holding the label towards the camera. And as soon as we got there, I had to take a picture of everyone's mood at the start of it. And Judd's picture was like a proper obvious advert promo of him laughing next to a bottle while holding a bottle of Captain Morgan.
Yeah.
It was good. And the funny thing about that is the night was quite good. So we got there. It was a bit awkward because you'd not. Well, you might have met them, but like not.
I'd met them a little bit, yeah.
So there was me and my girlfriend, Judd,
yeah.
and then my girlfriend's friend and her boyfriend. So the other two, that Becky and Owen, they're called. So Becky and Owen, you don't know them particularly well, do you? And also,
not
you're
really,
very different types of people. They're quite like normal, reasonably classy people, especially for our age. And Judd's a gremlin, so
yeah.
But I genuinely underestimated your ability to make friends compared to your gremlin nature, because you do
that. You do that a lot. You keep forgetting that I have some sort of unnatural talent to just immediately make friends with people.
It is weird. Somehow that usurps your goblinness. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
But it does. So, everyone got on well. We played some games and stuff like that, didn't we? We took some very obvious like shots of Captain Morgan's and things like that.
Yeah.
We played Scrawl. Do you want to explain Scrawl?
Oh, God. Oh, so Scrawl is essentially, it's like Chinese whispers, but with drawings, essentially, where you'll get a topic on a card, and then you draw it out, like on a little sort of whiteboard thing, and then you have like a set of whiteboards, and what you'll do is you'll draw something, and then you'll pass it on, and then the person that you pass the thing on has to write what they think it is, and then they'll pass it on, and then the next person has to draw the thing that they've written, and it keeps going like that until it sort of devolves into madness.
Yeah, and you got some funny sort of stupid shit drawn, and it's good. It was funny. It worked well for taking some impromptu pictures of the people that were there laughing as part of the advert. Yeah. It worked well for that. We played that, and we played Articulate as well after that. We were supposed to essentially look like we were doing a pre-drinks before going out. Another one of the tasks we could have done for this company was a board games night. We accidentally did board games because we just wanted to. So we accidentally played board games. But the thing is, that's kind of one of the things that I wouldn't be, that it'd be relatively normal to do before going on a night out anyway. So it kind of was both. But we played Articulate.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain that one?
Oh, it's so essentially, Articulate is you'll I'll not explain the whole thing, but you'll get a topic, and you've got to you'll get a card with different sort of topics on it, and the topic that you have to describe it to your team, and they need to guess it without you like saying what it is.
It's essentially whoever does that the best wins, don't they?
Yeah,
that's kind of. And we did boys versus girls twice, and the girls won twice. But and if we're being honest, it was me and Judd that kind of fucked it all up. Not gonna lie, we were probably the most drunk as well. So yeah, we drunk a lot more than everyone else. I didn't realize until like later, like the next day. But for how much we drunk more than everyone else, we should have been way more smashed than them. But luckily, our alcoholism brings up a big tolerance, so we were relatively similar. It wasn't too bad. Yeah, we drunk like, I don't know. Well, we drunk a full bottle of Captain Morgan's between the two of us. So, I mean, that was that. It was a 0.7 litre, so it weren't the biggest bottle, but we drunk like, you know, full bottle of rum between the two of us. So that was that. And yeah, it ended up being quite fun, and we got the job done. We got everything they needed. But honestly, I had more tasks to do after that. I'll try and tell you some of these tasks that I've had to do. Bear with me. This will take me a second. Let's do... Judd, try and do one of those. Do one of those for me.
You mean... Do 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 do.
Yeah, keep that going, that's good. I'm nearly there.
Boing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's good. Keep going.
You like
keep it going.
That was it. I did the boing at the end.
Yeah, good. I liked that. Anyway,
nice.
So these are the tasks I had to do. So how do I find out? Okay. So I was asked. So the afterwards tasks, once I'd uploaded all the photos and stuff from that event, I was asked things like, what do you think about Captain Morgan's? What kind of drinking occasions would you like to have Captain Morgan's? It's not about Captain Morgan's, by the way. It's not about that. But what do you think about Captain Morgan's? And I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. Then one of them was like, what do you think about these 3 themes? Authenticity, fun, and inclusivity. Authenticity and fun, they were going all right, but then they hit me with inclusivity, and I'm like, oh god, I'm going to sound like a bastard. And you know what? I did. So I'm not going to go through my responses unless they were interesting. Then how can Captain Morgan's embody these roles? Then we had... Then one of the things they wanted was there was some show and tell, so I submitted some photos, and one of the last things they wanted was they call it try, buy, and buy. So like try, buy as in purchase, and buy as in say bye to. Okay. So they wanted 5 images of drinks that I've tried and loved, 5 images of drinks that I want to try and I want to buy, and 5 images of drinks that I would avoid and say bye to, basically.
Okay.
So I thought I'd tell you about those. So, number 1, Barnsley Gold beer. That's my favourite beer. I love it. It's not anything too fancy. It's quite it's a gold ale, but just done nice and well by a local brewery, and it's my favourite beer. It's not gonna shock you. It's always gonna be good. Fantastic. Essentially, Rhubarb Mead. It doesn't have to be a particular brand, but I had the Lime Bay one because it's cheap on Amazon. I like Viking and Scandinavian stuff. I wanted some mead. I was like, ooh, Rhubarb Mead. So I got it for Midsummer. Fantastic. Loved it. Really delicious. My granddad very loved it. In fact, my granddad drunk like a whole bottle to himself on Midsummer and got very drunk.
Nice.
He very much underestimated how much he would enjoy the mead, and was like, no, I want some more of that. That's good.
Nice.
Blue Moon beer. It's good. It's manufactured, but it's like a mass-produced one, which means it's a bit easier to obtain, but it's got a bit of an orange twist, but done very well. Not too orangey, so it still fits with a beer theme. Fantastic. Love it. It's one... if I get very drunk, sometimes I email companies telling them how well a job they've done on certain products. And this is one of two things I've ever done that for. The two things are Blue Moon beer and the Spider-Man PS4 video game. I emailed Insomniac being like, listen here, Insomniac, this is a masterpiece.
I bet Mr. Insomniac really appreciated that.
Thing is, though, companies get complaints way more than they get compliments. And sometimes I think, you know what? They deserve a compliment. They're doing an amazing job. Anyway, moving on. So, Jameson IPA edition. Love it. It's Jameson Irish whiskey, which I've obviously found a new appreciation for since going to Ireland. But it's made in IPA beer barrels, which adds an element to it that I love. I love IPAs. I love whiskey. It works fantastically. And of course, the last tried and loved is Bumbu rum. It's the best rum. Unless Captain Morgan sponsors this podcast. Then Bumbu is the best rum. And I just was like, look, right, this is amazing. So next are the ones that I want to try. So recently our dad got a matching set of Fallen Angel spirits. So I put the black one on here, which is the spiced rum. Fallen Angel spiced rum, I want to try that. It comes in like a devil's head bottle. Incredible. Love the idea. I basically said, look, the bottle of your alcohol makes a massive difference. That's the reason I buy it, basically.
It really does. It really does.
Really does.
Difference, yeah.
So I put that on. I put some Japanese whiskey. That could be fun. You know, I put the Bumbu Black Edition because I've not actually had that, and I basically said, "Look, I love Bumbu. I want to try the black one. It's been recommended very well."
I recommend it.
It's dark rum rather than spiced rum, isn't it?
Yeah, I prefer dark rum.
I put Jameson orange flavour, because I know I love Jameson, so I want to try a funky orange flavour. And then Bailey's. I've recently discovered I like Bailey's, and they've got an apple pie version. You know, that's a bit of a weird flavour. That's a bit like, okay, that sounds like it could be good. So that's why I put that on there. Now we're on to the ones that I've tried, and I would not have them again. Stuff that I don't like. Gordon's Gin. Not Gordon's Gin specifically, just gin. I don't like gin. Do you like it?
Shit. Gin's shit. I hate gin.
I
really don't like gin.
I literally said on this, I'm not a fan of the botanical taste. It tastes a bit like the worst tasting bit of grass. Don't ask me why I know what grass tastes like. That's exactly what I heard. He's like, but it does though. You ever tasted grass?
Yeah.
It kind of tastes like literal grass, what cows eat. I'm not talking like marijuana. I'm talking like grass. So anyway, I don't like gin. Just don't like it. Then I put on, I used Tia Maria's version of this, but it could be any of this. Coffee liqueur. I hate coffee.
Is that? Hold on, they sung a song about her, didn't they?
No.
They were
Tia Maria.
Yeah,
Tia
no.
Maria,
I got your picture, Tia Maria.
Tia Maria, count me
Count me in. There's a story at the bottom of this bottle of gin. Yeah,
I'm gonna sing that version every time now. Yeah, coffee liqueur. Basically, I hate coffee. I don't know why I would ever try this. I don't know why. Of course, I wasn't gonna like it. It sucks. Yeah. I don't like coffee. I put on a generic white wine. I just don't like white wine. I don't like it. Well, I don't like wine, but white wine's my least favourite. So I put one of those on. I also put on. This is a curveball because I like whiskey and Coke, but I put on the pre-mixed cans of Jack Daniels and Coke. You ever had those?
I've never had one of them, to be honest.
They suck because the type of cola that they put in the pre-mixed cans it's crap. It's so cheap, but the ratios, you know, we mix our spirit drinks really quite strong. Well, these cans are. It may as well just be. I could give this to a 4-year-old and they wouldn't get drunk. It sucks. Like it says the alcohol volume is 6%. I don't believe you. It just isn't though. It sucks. The mixture. It doesn't. It just. It sucks. They're bad. I wouldn't get them again. I would always mix my own. And then the last one I put is ouzo. You ever had ouzo?
I've never even heard of ouzo, to be honest.
I actually don't mind ouzo that much, but. It's basically an alcoholic spirit, kind of similar to vodka, but it tastes licoricey. It's It's like Greek. We don't get it much here. You tend to only get it in Greece, really, but it's. I don't like licorice. I hate licorice. It's another one of those flavors like coffee that I just don't like. So that's the last one I put of that. But yeah, so those are what I put on that study. Honestly, that's what we did on Friday, and it ended up being fucking way more work than I wanted it to be. It was a massive stress. I didn't even eat most of the day, and we had to order pizza while we were doing it because it was that much. But anyway, there you go. That's what we've done. That's the Captain Morgan's advert. So basically what I'm saying is, if there's a Captain Morgan's advert in your country and there's a picture of Judd holding up a Captain Morgan's next to his face going, then you know what that's from. And please tweet at TweetsBadly and let us know.
Yeah, please tweet that at us, for God's sake. I'd love to see that.
I think more reasonably, it's probably just going to be used to present to some like Captain Morgan's executives and go, this is the market research that we've got and what we think people want to see out of us.
It's even funnier, you know, to just imagine like they're just like showing this to a bunch of like $1 million execs and they show a picture of me on the fucking screen, like going, yeah.
There's a video of us like fucking round, pouring way too much rum into a glass and everything as well, and like shotting it, going, oh shit, and then all sorts. Oh dear. No, I think that they've got some useful stuff out of it, and they've been commenting a lot. When I submit some of these, they comment and ask you further questions and stuff, and they've been asking for like ideas for what could be. So one of the things that I've kind of mentioned that I think is really cool, if not necessarily just alcohol brands do, you could say this with any like food brands or any sort of brand, but focusing more on like an alcoholic brand, is if they do an interesting special edition bottle that has like a weird, interesting flavour, you know, about it. I love that shit. I buy that shit up like nobody's business. Honestly, it's the reason why I'm so fat. If McDonald's ever releases like, we've got this funky burger, you've not seen this before, special edition, I'm like, fuck, now I gotta get a McDonald's. And it's like, you know, so honestly, that shit really works for me. And I know that that's what's happening. I could definitely avoid it, and I don't want to. It's too fun. So I was basically saying to him, look, release like a weird bottle with an interesting, odd flavour. I'm going to buy it, basically. And the two kind of ideas I presented to him, let me do this, like, let me give you like a Dragon's Den pitch, see what you think of these. My first idea...
Imagine that I'm a big, fat, gross bastard with like a big suit on me that barely like buttons around my fat fucking gullet, and I'm like eating a turkey leg or something. I'm like, boy, what is your idea? What shall make me even more money?
I've got two ideas for like Captain Morgan's. Basically, I framed it for them. The idea one is with your special edition design and flavour, stick to something piratey at first. You know, Captain Morgan's, it's piratey. Stick to that first. Go with one of those. Get one of those done so people are like, oh, that's cool. And then they're a bit more used to Captain Morgan's does things like that. Okay? So I'm thinking a special edition bottle that comes in a chest. Like a small chest, you know, like sometimes bottles of spirits come in a little box, where the box make it look like a chest. It's like piratey. You open your chest and your bottle's in there, and that's your treasure. And the flavour is either pomegranate infused or a specific type of mango kind of mix.
Mango would be
because pomegranate's like fruit on the inside looks a bit like rubies. You know, like kind of rubies, gems, you know, that's a buried treasure. Yeah. I'm pretty certain there's a breed of mango called ruby mango. So that could work as well. So I'm thinking buried treasure, your case, ruby fruit, but it's a ruby kind of theme because that's a gemstone, but it's kind of the flavour's fruit-based and the ruby and the fruit, because obviously a fruit's going to work better as a flavour rather than like metal flavour. I don't know. So that's kind of my first kind of idea. I only gave them a general sort of thing like that. They have to think a bit more hard to get it down. My other idea was, I don't know if this would work. I don't know. My other idea was you could start getting a bit more out there with it. After you've done that, you could do like a Pirates versus Ninjas themed bottle and packaging. Something like that. And your flavour could be a blend between spiced rum and sake. You know, the kind of Japanese alcohol? You know, I don't know if that'd taste any good. I can't comment on that. If they could make it taste good, then brilliant. But I don't know. That's a bit more out there idea. I thought could be cool. I don't know. You could even do like a Pirates of the Future thing where it's a bit more cyberpunk looking, and the like flavor is rum and bubblegum or something odd like that. You know? They'd have to kind of make sure it works and figure it out first before they decide that that's actually a good idea. But avenues like that are what I would explore. So there you go, Captain Morgans. Call us. Sponsor this podcast, and then we might consider it better than Bumbu. You never know. It's fucking nuts.
Maybe.
But Bumbu could also sponsor us, and that would be fucking sick too. So, you know, it's a war for the sponsorship. Whoever wants to sponsor us first, it's up to you. I know you're both dying to. But anyway,
we gotta get them on our radar. You know, these two whippersnappers.
Yeah. You need our sponsorship. I mean, come on. Yeah. And to be fair, whoever sponsored us, like whoever genuinely, if any of them actually sponsored us, they probably would see a decent amount of returns because we'd probably just drink more of it.
Yeah, we
I mean, we drink enough alcohol to move the needle on that market at this point. So it's not too bad. Right, anyway, that's plenty. That's the end of a podcast. Thanks for listening. If anyone wants to tweet Captain Morgans or Bumbu to sponsor us, then that'd be pretty fucking sweet.
And do it, you fucking idiot. You don't need our permission. Good God.
Yeah, exactly. Just fucking do it.
Think for yourself for once. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. Why don't you get a fucking bark collar and stop yapping at us? Am I right? Bye.
Yeah, women.
Oh no! Why did you have to fucking... Oh God. No, it's all a joke. Sorry. Bye.